All right.
All right.
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
Uh,
This
All
is
right. So
uh,
this is Peter.
this is Lori,
this is this is Hamilton.
and we're with Action Heroes LA and HeroesForParties.com, coming to you with another movie review in these quarantine times.
Quarantine time.
So what we've done, we've been watching we've watched a few movies in the last few weeks here in the lovely Lark Light Theater.
Lark Light Theater.
So, except Hamilton, he's doing it remote. So we're all just trying
I,
to stay as safe as possible.
I do that
But
social distancing thing
yeah,
every chance I get.
yeah, exactly. So we did our first movie we watched in this theater was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That classic starring Clint Eastwood, directed by I can't. Oh gosh, you got that,
Uh,
Hamilton?
no, I know. It's man, come on. Any other time I would remember
Oh,
right away. Uh, oh, come on. This
oh
man
dang!
deserves.
Well,
He
I went to Google.
deserves. Yeah, he
This,
deserves to have his
I
name
know
mentioned.
we got him named the
He's brilliant.
name because he's one of the
Um,
first spaghetti westerns, right?
yeah.
Oh my god.
But
But anyway, I want to mention because it was Ennio Morricone. Is that how you
hmm
pronounce his name?
hmm
He just passed away, and he's
Oh
very
wow,
well
I didn't know
known. Yeah,
that.
he passed away like last week,
wow.
and he
Wow,
did the music, and his I mean
wow.
that distinctive the music for his movies, all is very distinctive. You know his music when you hear it in the movie. I mean, no Western. I was watching a review of someone else's review of The Good and Bad and the Ugly. It's like every Western kind of like rips off that score now because it's so iconic,
Yeah.
hmm
and it's like, when you hear his music, especially from that movie and the movies he did score, that's you automatically think Western. That sets the tone.
Or you think of just death or a possibility thereof. Because I've actually been in a parking lot just last week, and somebody came up to me and was saying something, and then I just went under my breath. "Wah, wah, wah," and they went, oh, and they got away from me.
So the director is Sergio Leone. So I was able to
Yes.
look that up just real quick, and why it slipped my mind, that's crazy.
I don't know.
So
I do
Hamilton,
that.
you suggested this movie for us to watch, and a really good pick, really excellent pick to watch. Try in our simulated theater here. And do you want to start with any comments of why you chose
Yeah,
this
I mean,
film?
you mentioned Ennio Morricone. First of all, I'm glad you mentioned that. I had no idea he had
Yeah,
passed. But he was definitely up there in
yeah.
age.
Well, he was about
But
82, so considering like I think we both have parents older than him, it's kind of like, oh, okay,
right,
seems a little
right,
young
right.
now.
That's true.
So
Well, honestly, I've always,
to block the door.
since I first saw this film, like maybe 10 years ago,
Hmm.
I've always thought, this is what attracts me to movie going in general.
Yeah.
I can imagine seeing this movie in a theater like the theater in Hollywood, the Cinerama Dome back in
Okay.
the
Yeah.
'60s when it came out. And I wish I could have seen it in the Cinerama Dome, or I wish it were possible to still see it. But it's just, it has everything that I want in a movie. It has great acting, great storytelling. The music is really essential to the storytelling. Um, it's funny. It's kind of it's funny and dramatic at the same time, but
Yeah.
it's got a sly sense of humor running through it. And I mean, it's just a timeless film. It never gets old. I love Clint Eastwood,
Hmm.
but I love all of the actors in this film. Really, I
Oh
love.
man, everybody is
Yeah.
great in this film. It's
Yeah.
just like
hmm
I've had
Exactly.
you have now I'm blanking on names. I can get Angel Eyes and
You got
um,
Eli Wallach.
Eli Wallach who plays
Yeah, he's great.
um, Tuco and,
Exactly. You,
and
you
then
have Lee Van.
Louis
What's his
Van
name?
Cleef.
Lee Van Cleef.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and these guys, I don't know. I guess it's not fair to compare them to contemporary actors, but I just think they come from a different era where you had to be you had to be a certain kind of actor to really, to be considered a Hollywood actor back then. I don't know. Just the performances just really hold up for me.
I mean,
You
they
know.
have like this charisma and like star quality too. You know, and, I mean, yeah, Clint Eastwood's the big star. I mean, he wasn't a big star when this came out. This is the movies.
Right.
These are the movies that made him. You know,
Right.
it's but these
Exactly.
other guys are just fantastic.
But I think
Exactly.
what we were looking at, and where you see things today, is that their acting isn't just voice, it isn't just talk. It's movement. Even a
Right.
slight movement with the hand tells you something.
Exactly.
Something that's getting ready to happen, or something that in how they feel.
Exactly.
That's a really good observation. Yeah.
There's a look in the face. Even when they look away from the person, they're telling the story, and that's something that is kind of a lost art nowadays. But it's one of the reasons I was able to watch that movie Parasite, and all of a sudden not have to watch or start reading the subtitles.
You could tell what
I
was
could
going
tell
on.
what was going on by their positioning, by their movement, whether their
Right.
voice went up or down, whether they looked one way or the other. Yeah. It
Yeah, and
was,
that's really important because the first, what is it, maybe about 12, 15 minutes of this movie, there's like no dialogue, but you're just
Right.
engaged. And then, the other thing I want to point out how visually, how fantastic this movie looks. And there's all these great shots, great framing, but it's not, when we talked about this after the movie, it's not like today is like, oh, doesn't this look cool? It doesn't have that feel of, oh, doesn't this look cool? It's just like, it's just there, just feels natural. And, I think of the one, Van Cleef's in the doorway, coming in the doorway, standing in the doorway to this guy he's about to like take out
Yeah.
and stuff. And he just slowly like walks in, and then their whole exchange that goes on. And it's just amazing looking, and just,
oh yeah. Even there, I could tell that the guy knew this guy's here to kill me, and there is no talking
Right.
him out of it.
There's no talking.
Yeah, and the guy just walks up and he sits down.
Yeah, I don't think they start
yeah.
the movie. They start talking till about that scene.
Yeah,
I think.
they
Yeah.
hey, you want something to eat? Sure, but
Right.
it's almost like Pulp Fiction, where when what John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, when they go in to that apartment, and the guy is talking and stuff like that, and he goes, "Oh, there's no talking your way out of this." But even without saying it, that's what he did. He sat down. Yeah, I have a couple questions. Here are the questions. Whether you tell me the truth or not, you're gonna die. And so,
Right. Right. I think what the first, maybe you mentioned, Laurie, the first 7 minutes of the film is just intro, of all the different characters, the main three characters. So it's not a lot of talking, but they show you just the right amount. They give you just the right amount of information for you to understand who each character is in the
Right.
story.
Right.
And I really like that. I'm a big fan of Sergio Leone in general. I mean, he never made a bad film, in my opinion. But I think this was like, maybe this is a good film for people who've never seen a Sergio Leone film to maybe start with. But it's technically part of a trilogy. So I mean, you can watch it first, but it's there's two other films that come before it. It's the final
Oh, okay.
of three films
I
in
don't know
the
if I've
trilogy.
seen the two other. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd say I've had
the,
a few dollars more, a fistful of dollars, and a few dollars more. I'm sure
right, right.
at some point maybe come across them,
now
or bits and pieces of them.
I don't think I have. I might have, but I don't think I have. But the thing is, even if this is the third in a trilogy, it stands alone.
Right,
And
right.
Well, I think they say Clint Eastwood, his character is a different name in each movie, or at least in this one, something like that.
Well,
And
actually,
they,
some people call this the Man with No Name trilogy.
okay.
So his name is never actually
Yeah, he's
given.
given a nickname, and only Tuco calls him Blondie throughout the whole movie. So
Hmm.
now, one thing that I did notice, the Foleys, the because
the
back
sound
then,
guys.
yeah, the horses' movements and steps, your movements and steps, everything like that. That was the style of the movies back then, and
Right.
that was something that actually maybe only your script took the sound of your script took more precedence
Presidents or
than the
president?
sound. Pres, pres,
Presidents? Precedents.
Precedence.
precedence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then your then the movements and the sounds of somebody walking or brushing up against something, stuff like that. Um, but now that isn't that's a background noise
Hmm.
where back then it was more of a forward,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
sound.
like sound is a big deal in this film in particular. Like if someone's whistling and they suddenly stop, you know something's about
Something,
to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you know someone's standing there and they heard something. You know, like they make sound really like an important part of the storytelling
Oh, very
throughout the
much.
entire
Yeah.
film. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know, like putting it in perspective, these movies like spaghetti western movies were considered kind of gauche, kind of
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
low quality,
that's
you
why
know,
they
for
call
the
them
time.
spaghetti westerns. They went to Italy to film them because it was like too expensive to film here. And that's something you notice. Kind of one of the flaw of the movies. A lot of the like bit actors in it, you can tell they're probably speaking Italian and they have like dubbed in English over, so their mouths don't quite match the words that are coming on through the speakers and stuff. But everybody like the main actors do speak English. So,
Right.
but that's like you said, that's probably they indicating the budget of this thing. But even more so amazing is just like how creative they had to be because this movie looks great, and there's a
Hmm.
lot of just great scenes in it. And in fact, I had to look at a review after that, and someone stated it's just really a series. It's not really a plot through the whole movies. It's just a series kind of events. It's got guys all like torturing each other, basically, trying to get the upper hand and stuff. I will say, kind of the scene where it gets to like the Civil War, um, the army and the blowing up the bridge when he gets to that it gets a little slow for me. That's always the
Yeah.
part I kind of like. I have a hard
Yeah.
time staying in tune with the movie, but then like right after that it picks up again because you have like the building up to the great finale. So that's if there's
Yeah.
any flaw for that, that would be my my
Yeah, it's a long film. It's like 2.5 hours,
it
I
is,
think, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's nearly
It,
three
it
hours, yeah. So
yeah, it's a long film. It does. I wouldn't say it drags, but I agree. There's scenes that it's kind of
just
like you kind of lose your focus for a little
that's
bit because
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
a long film in
Hmm.
general.
Well,
Yeah.
again, that has to do with style, I think, because nowadays, film, and when I say film, I'm talking about the people who are actually there while it's being filmed. Um, there is a if you look to the side, it's like this, and then cut. It's next. Well, back
Mhm.
then they would look,
Take my spoon.
stare, and kind of go back and forward, and
That was bugging me.
um, it's a
Bugging me.
whole thing again of trying to tell a story with the body or the look or something like that. Where now the story is pushed by the story.
Right.
Where then, well,
Right.
they needed to take time to look and see what was going on.
Kind of setting tone, basically.
Yes. Where
Yeah.
now it's just look next, let's get to it. I mean, we're
Mm-hmm.
a microwave society. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if our food isn't done in 2 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
you
That's
know,
true. That's true. You had a lot more time in the past to kind of set things up in the
Yeah,
right.
my
film
the
without
movies were paced
using
different
attention.
back then too. There's
Yeah.
it's just that was
Yeah.
just how it was. We're used to a lot of fast paced stuff now. This is just how the style has changed in filmmaking over the
Yeah.
decades. So
And I do have to agree with Hamilton. If if you're a filmmaker, yes, you're going to study a lot of the new films for pacing and stuff like that, but definitely go back and look at some of the old ones like this film, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, because even if you were to, even if as a filmmaker you take it and re-edit it to make it smaller and take out some of the long stuff, you are going to see some incredible, not just acting, but body language acting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I would say, the thing about Sergio Leone that makes him different is he would, in my opinion, be like the Orson Welles of spaghetti westerns, maybe. I mean, his
hmm
films stand apart from other
hmm
filmmakers from that era, but I mean, he just was a really talented filmmaker. Everything he did had a sort of grandiose cinematic look and feel to it, and he's a great storyteller. He doesn't waste the viewer's time with a lot of gratuity. He has a purpose why he's doing whatever he's doing throughout the film. And even for a film like this, which is like 2.5 hours, it's still, for the most part, it's really exciting and enjoyable to watch a film like this. Even I've seen it like maybe 3 times or 4 times, because like I said, I only saw it like 10 years ago. So, but every time I've seen it, it's you know it encapsulates what I love about watching movies. Like I said, I would love to see this film on the big screen.
I
You
think
know,
you should too. I think
yeah.
if we find it playing anywhere, if we ever can go back to a movie theater again, and
Well,
either
I
you know
I know they
it's
they
playing
just
in.
brought Empire Strikes back
Yeah, I
to the
heard that
theater
they're
recently.
playing a lot of older uh,
Yeah,
films. That it was like the number one film this week or something like that.
yeah,
It was made
exactly.
$500,000, which is
Yeah,
yeah. But it was
right.
the remastered or whatever redone ones. I'm kind of there's a group on the internet that's. Well, maybe I won't say they have a 35 millimeter print of all the original trilogy of Star Wars that they're going through and cleaning and digitizing and stuff like that. So I'm looking. They're working on Empire Strikes Back right now, and I'm looking forward to that. But let's wrap up Good,
Yes.
Bad, and the Ugly. Definitely see this movie. Yeah, it's be prepared. It is a long movie, but it's just really a film classic. And if you're into filmmaking and movies and stuff like that, you should see it and let us know what you think in the comments, of course.
Thank you, thank you. I think that is correct. It is a good movie. Um, like Hamilton said, it is long, but it's something that is definitely worth your time.
Yeah,
Hmm.
whenever we can go back out to a movie theater and it's playing somewhere, I wouldn't mind seeing it on the big screen.
Hmm.
All
I
right,
agree, Laurie. It's a classic, so that's all you really need to know. It's worth seeing.
all right. We out.
Well, we out.
We out.
We I
Wah, wah, wah.
thought we were I thought we were just gonna do all the reviews all at once. I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
gonna break them up.
Okay.